Hey everyone. I don't know why I always do this. Why do I always do this? It's Michelle. You've reached my channel. My channel is Farm Girl. Because I live on a farm. It's about as original as I can get sometimes. Super happy to be back. I know it's been a long time. Everybody always says it, but life has been very busy as of late. Everybody's done a retreat video, so I don't have a ton for you for a retreat, but obviously since I hosted the retreat, I do feel the need to say a little bit about it, so I'm going to make it really quick. If you're sick of the retreat info, which how can you be sick of it, then just fast forward. First, I wanted to say a special thanks to Teresa for coming and designing our fantastic project. This is a project that is going to be exclusive to the attendees forever and ever. Amen. So thank you so much, Teresa, for making that possible. I also wanted to mention something else, which I don't think I did even at the retreat, but Teresa is actually responsible for putting together the gift bags that everyone got to. So incredibly grateful that she... I actually wasn't going to do one, and she's like, oh, I'll do it, because that's just the kind of girl she is, and she did an awesome job, and between her and Jennifer from Jen's Stitching Niche, they just put some fantastic goodies in here. Jennifer included for everyone 3 skeins of her exclusive, which she had, it's a limited edition, and she had Gentle Arts dye those for her. There's a little needle minder, button needle minder in there, and there was some little candy. So thank you so much, Jen. I really appreciate that. And Faraway Designs, we have this beautiful needle minder. And if you can see, it's actually the dragon's head and the fairy there. Can you see that? Very pretty. And some people got one of these. Now, I am fortunate enough that I've actually seen the original stitched model in the designer's home, because the designer is Susie Reno. So I saw this and it was super sweet, and she's super sweet, so I had to have it. So when we were putting those together, I put that aside for me. And this is someone I wasn't familiar with, but this is super cute. This is Loohoo Stitches, and let's see. So Cindy Young is her name, and see if there's a, she's at Loohoo Stitches on Instagram and YouTube as Cindy Young, and it's Cindy C-Y-N-D-Y Young. I'm actually going out of town very early tomorrow morning, so I don't know that I'm going to have time this weekend to include links, but I will get this, her Instagram and her YouTube channel linked down in the description box, but probably not until the week. So if you're looking for that, listen to the description I gave you, or you can wait until I add it to the description box. So that is super, super cute. And what else was there? Twin Peaks Primitives. Those ladies are fantastic. I love their designs. They contacted me and asked if they could include something. And so they put this adorable stitch in there. And they are also on Instagram. Very sweet. They're always putting super cute pictures. And I know that there are some shops that are carrying their designs as well. And so this was another book that we got from You and I and Friends. And cute stuff. Cute, cute, cute. So appreciate that. There was another Raise the Roof. And it's called Spooky Friends. How cute is that? That's super cute. And I think that's all we got. Oh, and then Candy from Candy Stitches took the design that Teresa designed for us. So she took an image of this and made needle minders for us. So that was what was in the gift bag. So like I said, I just wanted to make sure I gave a very grateful and genuine thank you to Teresa and Jennifer for putting those together. that was fantastic. And I really appreciate it. That was an extra special gift. I also received an astronomical amount of gifts, which I'm not going to show them all because we would be here all day. And I got an entire new wardrobe of goat t-shirts and farm t-shirts, which are awesome. So thank you, Jen and Marcy, for that. Marcy, you are just the sweetest person ever. I'll be honest that this retreat was more work than fun for me. It was very busy. I am really glad that I took on that many people in a place where I'm familiar with, because Oak Ridge kind of does everything for me. It's a familiar place. I work really well with them. Their staff is amazing. The facility is amazing. Their food is amazing. The stitching room is amazing. They're super accommodating. And it's just been a really great venue. And I'm glad that we had this big of a retreat there. So now I kind of know what to expect, because to be honest, I was really nervous for Priscilla and Chelsea, and especially Brenda, because when Brenda comes, we're actually going to Iowa and we'll be in a different venue for that retreat. So if you're interested in retreats, you got to join the Facebook groups, which is the Midwest Cross Stitchers retreat. Or it's Midwest Cross Stitchers. So if you just search that on Facebook, you'll find the group. Answer the questions. I do not go and check what groups you belong to or anything if you don't answer the questions. I just don't approve it because I just don't have time to do that. So, and then also special thank you to Susie Reno, because that girl was my right-hand man during the retreat, and I gave her a task and she did it. And also to Tara and Linda Jo for helping me out during events. I'm just so appreciative that when I ask somebody to do something, that they just like jump up and accept the task that I give them, even though it takes them away from whatever they were doing or sitting with their friends. And it's a family affair. So I just couldn't have done it without you guys. And thank you so much. Really looking forward to Priscilla and Chelsea. The previous group, and there's been some discussion about that on the Facebook group. And it's just common practice with retreats that you give previous attendees priority for sign up for the next one. So I'm sorry if you don't understand that, or you don't think that that's fair, but I kind of modeled that after most of the other shops that host retreats. It seems to be the norm. So, and I really feel like I need to, that's kind of my thank you to those who have come to retreats past, that they get first dibs on those. However, there were only 38 people at the May retreat last year, and the majority of them were also there in October. So now that we're bumping up to 75, there's actually a lot of spots left. So instead of saying things like, I'm not even going to sign up because I'll never get in, sign up. And in fact, I probably went through, the last person that got on the list for this year's wait list was LaDonna, who is Samplings of Memories. And she was probably at least 10 down on the wait list. And there were 3 spots available. So there's always possibility, but there's not going to be a possibility if you don't at least try and sign up. So I'll just say that, and I hope that we see lots of you there. Come to have fun, because if you're not there to have fun, you're not in the right place. I love to see all the Flosstubers, and I do love the Flosstubers because there are people who obviously I've watched some of them for a long time, and it was such a pleasure to be able to meet some of them in person and to see many of them again. And it's just always so cool, but I'm very open. And I learned that probably at the first retreat, because that's where I met Susie Reno, Sue, who was not doing Flosstube at the time, and her and I have become really good friends, and she is such a special person to me. So if I hadn't been open to that, I wouldn't have met her, and I love her. So I'm super glad that all of you come. And this year, so Marcy, Marcy is lovely. I heard a rumor she was going to be doing her first Flosstube, but I haven't seen it yet. So I really am encouraging you, Marcy. I would love to see you do Flosstube. First of all, especially when I meet people, I feel like I get to see my friends who I don't get to see face to face a lot when they do Flosstube. So that's pretty cool. But I'm really hoping that she does. Tara was also someone else that I met. That girl, I mean, she talked kind of funny because she's from South Carolina. And, you know, she had never had cheese curds. So I got her some cheese curds. But I love meeting you too, Tara. So we just had a ton of fun. And we're ready to do it again. I think we all are. And I didn't get to spend nearly as much time with people as I wanted to, so I'm going to make some changes so that I think I'll be a little bit more able to spend time chatting with people. However, these women, they can stay up late. Saturday night, after all the events were over, I remember thinking, oh, this room is going to clear out soon. It's got to be. And I was like, wow, there's still a lot of people here. And I thought, oh, it's got to be, what, 10:30 or something? And when I finally found my phone, because I lost it most of the weekend, I looked at the clock. It was 12:30, and I think there were 70 of the 75 attendees still in the room. 12:30 a.m. So these ladies are hardcore, and one gent. So there's that. And I was often up. I'm a night owl anyways, and I closed the room, so I was there up until, you know, around 2 a.m. And Lisa was always with me. And Suzette, she's a night owl too, the primitive stitcher and kindred stitcher. Those are night owls. But we had a great time. And Marcy was always there late too. So it was fantastic. Loved it. Like I said, my only regret was not being able to spend more time talking with people. Okay, so I did want to share with you a few. I seriously have so much stuff around me. I can't. Okay, I do want to share with you, a few things. And I have to say, okay, so I'm in this awkward stage of growing out my hair. So I know I look like a homeless person, but my bangs are kind of, I'm in that mood, you know, where you got to grow them out again, but I can't really take it. And so next time they'll probably be up to here. But right now, this is what I'm going with. I know I look like a homeless person. No need to comment. I'm aware. Okay, so McKenna brought me this gigantic bag of mohair yarn. Now, in case you didn't know, look at how luxurious. Mohair is actually, comes from a Angora goat kid. Mohair comes from Angora goats, but when you use it for knitting, it's generally from a kid. Because that's the soft stuff. As they age, their hair gets coarser, and then they use it for like crafts for like doll hair, and they get the little curls. So I'm trying to think of something that I could knit for her using some of this. It's really pretty shades of blue, different shades of blue. But what do you knit for in wool for someone? I guess it's not wool, but it's warmer. It's as warm as wool. Who lives in the desert. Like, I just don't know. So if you have any, I guess I could do like a lace shawl. But if anybody out there has any ideas of something that would be good for McKenna, let me know. Comment below. Send me links, Ravelry links. I'm on Ravelry. Okay, and Marcy gave me this big, huge goodie box. And it had an entire wardrobe of, amazing t-shirts, super fun. And I've worn them all. And she gave me some other things, and I thought that they were super cool. So I just wanted to kind of show them. So these are these big spools, and they're actually ornaments. And I think they came from, they came from Hobby Lobby. So how cool are these? And what she said was you could stitch something, and I actually have this reindeer pattern that I have in mind for this, and you can stitch it and wrap it around. And I thought that that was super clever and super thoughtful. The other thing were these little cutting board ornaments, also from Hobbs of Blobs. And you can leave this adorable little rooster decal on there. But you could also take it off or just cover it up, and it's like a little horn book. And you could paint this and distress it or do whatever you like to it. But isn't that cute? They also come in cows. And she was very thoughtful and remembered when I saw her at Needlework Galleria that I had mentioned that I was going to go back, that I kind of missed and I wanted to stitch some things on 32 count fabric because I stitch kind of everything on 36 and 40 count at the moment, and I kind of miss that, I don't know, just, it's kind of retro to me, but because it reminds me of the 90s, but you know, the 2/2 on 32 count or 28 count, I kind of miss that. So she was super thoughtful and got me all this, because she lives by Picture This Plus. What a lucky girl, right? And I've already used some of it, so you'll see a project that I finished. In this light, these aren't, so I just wanted to show the beautiful fabric that she got. These are all 32 counts, and they're amazing. I haven't used a lot of these colors from Picture This Plus, but they're all fantastic kind of neutrals. So this one is Earthen. That's showing up maybe just, no, that's pretty true. And this one, Legacy. I have used Legacy, but I don't think I have any in my stash. It's actually, it's maybe a little bit more gold tone in real life. And then Ale. I just used Ale for the first time not too terribly long ago, and I really, really liked it. And this one is Velt. V-E-L-D-T. That one's pretty. Maybe a little bit darker in real life. And then this is the one that I just finished something on. This is Brash. Love this. It's this one I feel is like maybe actually showing up a little bit darker. Maybe, maybe not. Love that one. Brash. B-R-A-S-H. Picture This Plus. So thank you, Marcy, for those. Those are awesome. And then from Miss Susie Reno. Now, her and I have a joke, because when we go fabric shopping, we do not care for the same types of fabric. In fact, I usually hate everything that she picks up her fabric. So I think she was more than a little nervous when she made me a project bag. But I love it, and it's in my favorite colors. My favorite colors is kind of tealy aqua blue, and she puts this adorable little tag on it that it was made by her, and hello, winter sweaters. How cute is that? So I love this, love this, love this to pieces. And this little, oh, they're martini glasses. That's what they are. That's fantastic. I love this. So thank you, lady. And then she uses this wax. It's 100% beeswax. She gets it from someone on Etsy whose name is, she goes, it's Unicorn Thread Gloss. And on Etsy, she is Robot Mom Sews. R-O-B-O-T Mom Sews. And it comes in these adorable little tins. Here. And I did message her, and it's 100% beeswax. And so this one, they're scented. And this one is apple streusel. And it just comes in this little tin. You can see here. Smells so good. It's very nice. And a nice hard, like I was afraid the scent might make it a little greasy, and it doesn't. It's like, you know, a good hard beeswax, and it just smells so pretty. So I haven't used it yet, but I am dying to. Smells so good. And then she just recently went to Scotland. I get confused with her and Lisa. I know she went to Scotland. Did she go to Ireland? That was Lisa. But anyways, she brought me home this goat. Is that the most awesome little thing ever? This just makes my day. I keep this on my desk at work. He's just a hilarious little dude. It's currently what my Nubians are doing. A lot of that. So thanks, girl. You know I love that. Super fun. Miss Teresa. She brought me a little goodie bag. I won't show you everything that's in there, but I do have to show you these. Goat bookends. Aren't these amazing? I have these down in my office. I think they're magnolia. Yes. They're the most adorable things ever. So I have those down in my office on my shelf, and they just make me smile. So thank you, Teresa. And then I have my sweet friend Jen from Felicity Stitches stitched this for me. Isn't that so pretty? The colors on there are so beautiful, but I'm super impressed with her painting on this box. It almost looks like a wood grain or something. I wasn't sure, but it's so pretty. And I opened it up, and I won't read it to you, but there's the sweetest note in the lid that she wrote for me. And it's like felt lined, and it's so beautiful. And I love this so much, and it's such a fantastic little keepsake for me for our time together. I can't believe I finally got to meet her in person. I love this. Thank you, sweet Jen. I miss you. Isn't that pretty? I'm actually not sure. I want to say she said it was like a blackbird design, but I don't know. I will ask her and link that below as well. But I love this. So this is in my sewing box. And I keep special trinkets in there. And then I just wanted to show you. Okay, so I think, is that all I had from retreat? I do have a few other things, but I will get to them when I show the other things that go along with them. I did want to show you from the Midwest Cross Stitchers Facebook group. We had our fall exchange. I seriously have so much stuff around. First, I'm just going to show you some of the smalls I can play because they're actually in this little tray. So I don't remember if I had these finished last year or not, and if I ever showed them on a video, but these are his and hers stockings. These are Plum Street samplers. There was supposed to be a lot more of the black in the his stocking, but the colors in this one, they got me. And so I repeated a lot of them in this one, so just changed it up a little bit, and I love those. I have charms here so they're not quite finished. There's supposed to be a little rickrack trim at the top, which I haven't gotten yet. And then I have some charms in here as well. They're not the called for charms, they're just charms that Stitchville sells. So I love those. So I've had those out. They're just adorable. I actually stitched them on bigger fabric, I think, than the recommended, because the recommended, they would only have been, I think it was like 36. I want to say I may have stitched them on a 28. It looks pretty big. I think these might be 28. So if you use the called for fabric, they aren't going to be this big. But they can be. And then this one, I had some people, I showed these on an Instagram story a while ago, and someone just said thank you for showing so many freebies, so I wanted to make sure I got these in. This, I actually spilled something on it, and it was stuffed with Angora wool, which then when I washed it and dried it, because of the handling, it felted and came out of the corners, and it was just a horrid, horrid mess. So actually cut it open, took the wool out, so I'm going to need to restuff it. But this is Primitive Betty Potted Jacks, I believe. That's pretty good considering I did this one a couple years ago. I did this in overdyes. They did not bleed. It was a hand-dyed coffee tea-dyed fabric, which did get a lot lighter after I washed it. Here is another freebie. This is from Paulette's, from her blog. And I think it was from quite a while ago too. But this is a freebie from Plum Street Samplers, Paulette Stewart's blog, Bok Bok. I mean, isn't that adorable? He's so cute. And I'm pretty sure I just did him in DMC. And I'm not sure if that's the called for or not, or what was on the pattern, but. And then I just finished this and filled it with little crushed walnut shells, and he's so cute. And, okay, and then these are just, I think this one I've already shown finished. This is a Summer House Stitch Works. It was a kit. And this, I love this. I love the size of this. I love the heft of it. And I filled it with crushed walnut shells, so it's really got some heft. This is Pumpkin Spice Farm. This is a Hands-On Designs. I don't want to show you too close because I stitched a lot of this on the airplane when I went to go see Lisa, Kindred Stitcher, and the girls, the Pacific Northwest Stitch Group. And it was dark on the plane, and we did not stitch it with any kind of magnification or... so it was actually, I was going to do it as a giveaway, but, you know, it's not the neatest. So I didn't want to give it away, but I'm glad I didn't because it's super cute. I love that. I love the little vine. So pretty. And then my fabric on the back. Just folly. Pretty. And then my last finish was, I think it's called Pumpkins and Bittersweet. It's a Scarlet House. There we go. And this was stitched in all the called fors. And this lettering here is stitched. This is on a 40 count, and that's stitched over 1. Don't let that scare you because she also includes in her chart, if you don't want to stitch it over 1, she includes it bittersweet over 2 as well, so that you can stitch it. But if you're using magnification, that's really, it's just a 10th stitch, so it's not like a full cross. But that's really sweet. And then I just did little pumpkins on the back. And that's that. Love that. I have a new fascination with, or a new obsession with Scarlet House. I went to Needlework Galleria and I saw the girls at from the Silver Needle, and they just had the cutest display of all these Scarlet House smalls, and which I owned a couple, but you know, sometimes you need to see them in person to really fall in love with something. And that's what Needlework Galleria was for me. I was able to see a lot of stuff in person, which was really awesome. I mean, I see a lot of stuff at Stitchville, don't get me wrong. But you know, every shop has their own style. And here's the other thing that, not a bad thing, but Stitchville has been my LNS for 30 years. So I don't generally, because I've been in the shops many times, I don't always take the time to like look around, and usually I go to where my favorite designers are and flip through and either stash enhance, or I'm there for something specific like fabrics or floss, or I'm there for a specific chart, and I don't really mull around too much because I feel like I've been there so much. But I get to see the eye, or I get to see the shop through the eyes of people who've never been there, like Linda Joe's video, Pretty Southern. She did a video of Stitchville, and I was like, I've never seen that. I didn't know that was hanging there. I didn't know that was there. And so the next time that I'm able to go, I actually haven't been since the retreat, which was, I think it's 3 weeks, which isn't unusual. I usually only go once a month or every 2 months. But next time I go, I'm going to make sure that I have some extra time, and I'm just going to go and look at all the models and all the things that I don't normally take time to do. Because that was super cool to see all that, which has always been right in front of me, right? Okay, so back to the Midwest Cross Stitchers Facebook group and our annual exchange. Actually, is this our third time? I feel like this is our third time doing it. Anyways, so typically we do a smalls exchange. I don't know if I made it that clear because there were some people who did larger pieces, which is totally fine. Like, I'm all into that. But, so what I got was a larger piece, which is stunning. And I haven't shown it. I did post it to the group. And it was an exchange partner because I don't partner people up in case someone has to drop out. Then I really only need to shift one thing. So it works out. But so Kathy, I'm actually going with her and her sister Deb to Spring Green tomorrow for the Country Sampler Christmas Open House. Does that sound amazing or what? So Kathy and Deb, they're like my big sisters. They've kind of adopted me as their younger sister, probably because I'm such a hot mess. I feel like I'm such a hot mess every time I'm with them. But so Kathy had me, and she stitched for me, are you ready? Harvest Keeper by Plum Street Sampler. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so interesting enough, for those of you who are participating in the exchange, here is one thing. And see, and I talked to people, see Kathy? I talked to people at the retreat about it, and they were like, that's brilliant. So Kathy took something. So what we do is we do an exchange where we stitch something for each other, and then you also include a gift of, I put a monetary value of $25 on it. She actually stitched me something off of my wish list, which I don't know why that it never occurred to me. I asked quite a few people who were also, why is this? Oh, Larry, he's messaging me. I was like, what is that one there? I wonder what he wants. We'll find out later. Anyways, so she brilliantly stitched me something off of my my wish list, my 1, 2, 3 wish list. And I asked several people at the retreat, and it didn't occur to them to do that either, but kudos to you, Kathy, because I'm going to suggest that for next time. So this was on my wish list. So she actually gave me the chart too, in case I wanted to stitch it. And I will definitely stitch this again. I almost feel like, I don't know, 197 by 150. It would be super fun. The bee skips get me. I mean, they're gorgeous. Look at them. So let me show you. She finished it. I think this is a, this certainly looks like a Weeks Dye Works Confederate Gray. Right? Doesn't that look like that? Isn't that gorgeous? And then she finished it in this tray. Okay, here's the super clever thing. So here's the pattern. She made a color copy of it, and she Mod Podged it onto the back, so I would always know what it was. Isn't that clever? So that's a great idea when you're gift giving and finishing something like that, that you can take that and do that. That was really clever. So she painted this, which is really hard to see because it looks like black, but it's not. It's got kind of a little green tinge to it. So she painted it green first, and then she distressed it so the green comes up through the black, and then she put a coat of black over it. And then waxed it, and it's so pretty. But so I'll show you that again. Isn't that so pretty? I love the colors in that. I love this border. But look at those bee skips. Aren't they beautiful? Oh, look at that big fat bumblebee. So pretty. I love this. Thank you, Kathy. And then of course you include a gift. So this was also on my list. This is Cape Cod Keepers. So cute. Can you see that? Sorry about the glare. There. And when I message her, I use this a lot in my messages, this emoji. So she got me this emoji needle minder. And then she got me this chart. This is Blackbird Design Cats on Parade. I've wanted to do that forever and a day. So pretty. And then she got me the fabric, the floss, and even the little like eyelash trim. You can't really see it. There's a wrap around it, but it's a little eyelash trim that goes around the top. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, sorry I had to run downstairs. Almost forgot to show this. I just forgot to grab it. I wouldn't have forgotten to show this. So for the smalls exchange at the retreat, I'm just looking at these acorns stitched over one. I got, boom, how cute is this? So I got this from my lovely girl Tina. Look at the little tiny acorns that the squirrels are holding. I just realized they're stitched over one. How cute is that? So this is a kit from Brenda Gervais. It's available on her website. I think it's the only place that you can get it. Country Stitches. I think it's countrystitchesonline.com, but just if you Google Country Stitches and Brenda Gervais, it'll pop right up. So this is on her available on her website. I believe it's limited quantities, so super cute. I have been eyeballing this for a long time, but it just was not necessarily in the budget, but I'm glad it's in Tina's budget to stitch it for me because I am super in love with this. I love, love, love. So this has been, I had to run downstairs because it's sitting next to my stitching spot in the living room, and I love this so much. Thank you, Tina. I love it. And so I love, love, love that. And then I stitched, and dummy me, I didn't even get a picture or anything of it before I shipped it off, but thankfully Holly's on the ball because she caught a picture of it at the retreat. So I stitched, this is Brenda Gervais, and this is Autumn in Baltimore, and super cute. So I'm going to just insert a picture of it here. And I finished it exactly as suggested. The directions were fantastic. I am going to be doing Christmas in Baltimore next. I have not gotten the pattern yet. I have not gotten to Stitchville, and I probably won't for a couple weeks. And they're probably sold out of it, and I'll probably have to wait anyways. But I will have it done for Christmas for sure. Now this, I stitched on a 28 count. It is 1/1 on a 28 count mushroom Lugana with, I did all the called for colors. But I love this, and I seriously, it doesn't take that long to stitch. Magnification, you have to use Magnification. I am obsessed with these now. These work fantastic. I mean, not the most attractive, but super functional, and they are amazing. And you can stitch on 180 count with these over one. Just saying. So I use those, and I don't have any problems. And you know how, like, if you use bigger stitch counts, you can stitch faster. Well, it's the same thing when you use really good magnification. You can stitch faster because you're not struggling to see. So I have suggested to a few people, let me know how you like it, but these are available on Amazon. I think I paid $13 for them. They're a little bit heavy. They come with glasses, you know, the ear part for like eyeglasses. I took those off and put the, they just snap in. I snapped on this elastic headband, and it's much more comfortable because otherwise they're pretty heavy, and this rests on the bridge of your nose and it gets uncomfortable after a while. They also have a battery compartment here for lights, and it takes 3 AAAs. Are you kidding me? That would, I mean, that would make it way, way heavy. So I don't ever use it for the light. I have a task light behind me, and I stitch in bed. I think I've said that a million times. But these also come with, which I have in my stitching box here somewhere. Let me see. Oh, you know what? They're not. They're in my stitching tray downstairs. But they come with like 5 or 6 different lenses, and I use somewhere in the middle. They snap off very nicely. Fantastic. Can't recommend those enough. So then when you're stitching over one on 28 count, which 28 count is a big count anyways, so if you could stitch over 2 on it without magnification, you can stitch over 1 without magnification. And I did a motif a night. There are 4 motifs on the basket and 1 for this little small, and then it took me a night to finish it. That's it. I mean, and by a night, I'm talking like 2 hours. So that's really all I had in there. So it took me 5 nights of stitching to finish this whole thing. It's very easy. There's not a ton of floss involved. It was pretty simple. And, I mean, her directions are spot on. Everybody wanted to know how I finished it. Well, I finished it just like Brenda told me to. And that was that. It's very well done. If I get a chance, I might stitch when I get Christmas in Baltimore. It's finished the exact same way. This is the box. So people are kind of wondering, it is small. So this is the paper mache box, and it is, they sell these at Michael's. I don't know, it's made by Doris. You don't use the top, so you can chuck that. But it's just, I mean, it fits in the palm of your hand. It's little, but it's adorable. And this one I filled, I don't remember who got it. I remember seeing who got it. I just don't remember who it was. But you can see in this picture up here, and Brenda has a video on her Facebook group, I believe, of her filling it with the little acorns and putting the pillow and the pumpkin in. I was like, done, I'm stitching it. So I have a lifetime supply of these in case she decides to continue with the series. So there's, I don't know, Summer in Baltimore, I feel like it's bigger. I have that pattern out. I haven't stitched it yet, but I don't think it's on this size box. I think it's on a bigger one, but I'll have to double check because I could be totally wrong about that. So I really love these little boxes. I hope she does more because I love them. And one thing I wanted to mention, so Suzette, the primitive stitcher, I honestly had so many like holy crap moments while I was there when I'd be like having a conversation with her, and then it would just occur to me like, Suzette, the primitive stitcher, is standing right in front of me. Like, I had to just keep pinching myself. I couldn't believe it. I love her so much. I have loved her since the minute she started doing videos. I've never missed a video. I have watched most of her videos more than once. She is even more adorable and sweeter in person. I don't know how that's possible. But she just is. I can't say enough nice things about her. She's incredibly talented. I love her style. I love everything she stitches. And she's just a genuinely like sweet, sweet, sweet person. So I'm so glad that I got to meet you, Suzette. Ooh, big hugs to you. I miss you. And she was one, she can hang. She's a night owl, and we stayed up some nights chatting, and it was just super cool to get to know her and chat with her a little bit. She gave me a beautiful gift bag. She gave me these adorable snowmen, which my kids think are super creepy, and I think they're super awesome. And I came home, and I don't have them up here because they're actually hanging on my cabinet downstairs, so I'll insert a picture here. And I don't know, I know she used to have like a shop, and she sold primitive dolls that she made. So they look handmade. I'm not sure if she made them or not, but they are stinking adorable. I love them. And the other thing that she brought, so I had asked people if they wanted to vend, you know, to be a vendor, and if they had something that they made to let me know, and I'd be happy to, you know, have them sell their stuff at the retreat. And I've seen her videos of her journals, and I know that they're beautiful. And she said, I want to bring some stitching journals, and I jumped on it. I'm like, of course, yes, 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 please, please, please. And it was actually something somebody in the group had suggested, you know, if somebody makes stitching journals, and she was on it. And I'm so glad that she did. So I bought several from her. Now, I normally don't use a stitching journal, and because I am just not organized enough to do that. So I have kind of a system in place now, and I have these great things that all of you keep telling me about. And so this is going to make me look, I'm just going to show you here because I can't really lift it up. This is my my stitching basket. So I think I've said it a million times, I stitch in bed. And this is the basket that I keep in bed. Now, I keep it on my dresser, and then I just have it sitting next to me in bed, and it has everything you could ever possibly imagine that you need for stitching, and then some, because I shove everything in here. And this is kind of, obviously you can see I shove everything in here. And my little basket from Jen sits right in here too. I have some finishes to show you. And there's just all sorts of goodies in here. And this has been working phenomenally for me. So these are not the books. This is the book I'm using right now. And these are the books Suzette has. And she actually has a Facebook group now, and she's going to be selling these. So you can get one too. And I would jump at it because these are fantastic. So they're just really nice, like chipboard, you know, paper covered chipboard. But look at the paper. The paper is just, it's so pretty. It's like a toile, but it's like a farm, and it's got some lady needle pointing on it, and it's so pretty. And on the back, it's totally different. Love this. I just think it's so pretty. And then she puts a clip, and it's got a little, this is the Victorian hand. I think she showed it, when she showed it in her video, she said she was out of these, but a couple of mine, I think, have it. So it's this little Victorian hand, and it's just a clip. And a lot of times I don't keep it completely clipped. And this is the inside. It's so pretty. And it says My Stitch Journal. And then it's just got, so this has been working phenomenally for me. The other thing that I do is I often will substitute a thread because I'm impatient and I don't have it, but yet I want to start stitching. So I'll just substitute something. I usually find the DMC equivalent and then find something over dyed to swap it out with. So this is nice because now as soon as I start something, I can write it in here. And it's got everything, and it's the fibers. So if I switch anything out, I can note it here. There's a miscellaneous spot, the start date, completion date. I love this. Where your fabric, your chart, everything. So this is super awesome. Every book comes with, and it's just clipped in here, this little laminated card that you can put under so that when you're writing, this is actually because I wrote something on the other side. This is the Feliz Navidad sampler that I just started. So actually I started it at the May retreat for Stitch Mania, but I counted and it was 70 stitches is what I put in there, and then I put it away and I haven't touched it. So I just brought that back out, and so it says fibers called for. That one has a lot of fibers. I don't want to mess with it. And just wrote everything down. It's super nice because then if I put it away, what I tend to do is I'll put it away and I think that I'm going to come back to it in a week, and I don't. And 6 months later, I'll need a floss out of there for something, and I'll take it out, and it happened to be a color that I substituted for the called for color, and it doesn't match, and I don't remember. So this is a lifesaver for me. And I've been surprised, as long as I have it in my stitching basket, every time I start something new or I finish something, it's right there. I never have to go get it. I put my pen right here, and this works awesome for me. I'm not going to plug products for you unless I'm using them and they work for me. Even if somebody sends them to me. If I can't honestly tell you I love it, I'm probably just not going to mention it. But this, I honestly love. So it gets better. Let me show you here. I got a couple of them because, you know, it's all in the packaging, right? And the papers, and they're so cute. And look at this one. And so cute. And was it this one? Oh, yeah. And then look at right at the top. There's goats in there. So, duh, I had to have that. See the goat right here? Isn't that adorable? And then the back, so pretty. The inside is the same. And then I got another one here. And isn't that so pretty? It's just cows. And I gotta show you the inside of this one because it's pretty cute. And this one, the charm is a needle. But look at the inside of that. Isn't that cute? And they're very original. These are great gifts for fellow stitchers. So if you're looking for Christmas gifts for a stitchy friend, there you go. Okay, and the other thing I wanted to show you, these are the most clever things I've ever seen. I am super smitten with these adorable little books. First of all, look at Santa. So they're just little, and they're the exact size of a little floss away bag. And so this has, at Christmas, so this has all the floss for my Feliz Navidad. And I actually, so you can write your list of floss here. You can just write, if you wanted to just write the sampler or whatever that you're doing, you could just write it what it's for. You could do that. And then you could use it this many times. And she includes 2 little library cards, and there's front and back. So these cards could last you for a long time, but I believe she said she's going to start selling them on her website. So she punches holes in the other side of the floss away bags and clips them in here. You get 10 per little book. She did not ask me to plug this. I just seriously love this. So, and I'm sure, and she puts, I don't think floss away bags come with this paper in them. Pretty sure they don't. So she puts that in there. Now, you can write the color on here if you want. It's a little spot for that. I just stuck the tag in there so I know what it is. And I think I am going to start just, getting these floss away bags because I really like this. This works awesome for me. First of all, it keeps it nice and neat. I have tried and I have tried and I have tried those rings that you people use, and because I want to rake my floss, you know, make it look all pretty. But the truth is, mine is a big knotted mess and it looks hideous. So that system, clearly, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm a messy person, but I don't know, that system does not work for me. This works fantastic for me. So I bought, I bought quite a few of them from her. And actually, she gifted me this one. How cute is that? So this is, she gifted me this one. This is a little Christmas retro. So cute. And on the inside, this pretty fabric, or this pretty paper. And, how creepy are they? I love that. Love it. Isn't that clever? Look at that. Can you see that? Love that. And I got this one for my spring projects. I had springy type stuff, and it was springy colors. And this adorable rooster. And this adorable rooster. Cute. And I think this is my last one. How pretty. So I thought, with all the different kind of theme prints, that I'd easily be able to remember what floss was in there as well. So another super awesome stitchy gift for an oldie for you. Okay, so back in the day, you know, back in the 80s, 90s, Paula Vaughn was, you know, the shiznit. So I had stitched some Paula Vaughns. This was one of them, and it's not really my style anymore, so I'm not really like, what do I do with it? I still think it was really pretty because I kind of went through my box of shame, and not gonna lie, threw some things out that I'll never ever do anything with. Was not gonna pass it on. It's and when sometimes they're mine. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and if you want to save it, you go ahead, but it wasn't of value to me. So it's not always like some evil family members. Sometimes I'm like, we're just over it. And that's kind of the way it was with a few pieces. I spend actually a lot of my knit stuff. I knit stuff to knit it. And that's kind of why I stopped knitting, because I would never do anything with it. And then in a couple years, it would end up at Goodwill. So anyways, so I stitched this and I just made this little sewing book out of it. It's got a little spot for scissors and like, you know, a small chart or something here. And I actually have a button that I need to sew on there. And then I was actually going to do some little floss rings here. And then just a piece of wool felt here for a counting pin. Then I just need to put the button on. And who knows if I'll ever do that. But, you know, something to do with some of those vintage stitches that you loved at the time. And you might still love, but you don't necessarily want to have it framed. And by the way, did I mention this basket is made, and I'm just gonna, kind of afraid to pick it up because now I've got it kind of top heavy. Okay, and this does say stitching on the side. I mean, I really use this stuff, so. This is a handmade 1803 Ohio farm basket. So this is Anne Frank. She hand makes these. She has an Etsy site and she is also on Instagram as 1803 Ohio Farm Baskets. These are beautiful baskets. She makes several different kinds. I thank you so much, Anne, for your donation. She donated 2 beautiful baskets to the raffle table. And speaking of which, we raised about $3,300 for Southern Pines Animal Shelter, and I would just love to thank everyone, especially Kathleen. Kathleen's wool hooked rug brought in $795 alone. Our second biggest contributor was Sally, the Humble Bumble Stitchers, and she's the Humble Bumble Stitcher on Instagram and on Etsy. And I'm going to show you because she was gracious enough to donate, and she's in the UK, and so she shipped these to me. And this was really unexpected. And I mean, I've shown you her stuff before. I'm a super huge fan. I use mine regularly. And this is her latest. First of all, she sent one for me and she sent one for the retreat for the raffle table. I believe the one for the raffle table may have said something different, but this says needles, pins, and stitchy things. And so this one had kind of purple trim. The other one had orange trim. Just absolutely beautiful. And first of all, which is this project roll, and she stitches this. I think that these are all of her original designs too. I don't think she's using any patterns. I think she's designed these. She's such an incredibly talented lady. I don't know how she stitches this fast. But this has to be, I hope she really enjoys it. And that she does find joy in making things for other stitchers, because this is an immense amount of work. And the amount of detail she puts in. So this is the end. I think this is a pool noodle. So that's kind of what it feels like. So there's that end, and look at this cute little white pumpkin. And it's just absolute perfection. After I press my pieces, I wrap them around here when I'm taking them to Michael's to be framed. Sorry, Mindy just posted something in Stitch Mania. And then she sent this beautiful Stitcher's notebook. Beautiful. And mine has a pocket on the back. The one that she did for the retreat was really beautiful. It had these white pumpkins stitched along the back, and then she put Midwest Stitchers Retreat on it, and it was just beautiful. And I mean, just adorable. So it ties around this incredibly cute little sunflower button, and you open it up, and you know, there's the pockets that she does, and there's a tie here for the beautiful pumpkin, which she also stitched. How stinking cute is that wagon with the sunflowers? And then it's got a little bat button. And this is a magnet needle minder that sticks on there. I mean, just the most clever thing ever. just so clever. And then this ties on here. I love these. Like, she is an incredibly, incredibly talented lady. There's this little notions bag here with the adorable little jackrabbit. It's never ending. And another little scissor case with that beautiful bird and the little pumpkin. And then this so sweet little witch scissor fob. And she sent me these cute little scissors. And her finishing is so amazing. So amazing. Just FYI, there were also a couple of these donated from the retreat. I was looking through, and I'm sorry I didn't catch that at the retreat. They were not donated by Sally. They were made by Sally, but they were actually donated by Denise. I'm not going to use last names because I don't have permission to do that, but Denise B. So thank you so much. Denise donated those. She also donated the So Much to Love project bag. That was absolutely gorgeous. And she donated for the door prize, the Blackbird design book, the new one from market this year. What else? She sent so many goodies for all of us. And Tina, thank you so much. Tina sent the Lone Elm Lane shaker box along with, if you watch Country Stitches, Liz is doing it. It's the shaker box from Shepherd's Bush. So it's that little, it was an exclusive like stitch along, like you signed up and you got the pieces. There's like 6 parts to it. She donated not only the shaker box, which was, and I mean, that was an incredible gift right there. Whoever, I think Nayla went home with that. I'm not positive. But that's the right person to go home with it, because you know she's going to get stitched up and get stitched up fast. And then, so all like 6 parts of the charts, like all the little goodies that went along in the all the parts to it. There's like a little ruler. If you watch Country Stitches, Liz has shown it several times. I'm sure you're all watching them. They're amazing. And it is so super cute. And it's all kitted. So all floss and all the fabric and the shaker box and everything donated by Tina. So I can't thank you enough, Tina. That was crazy generous. So anyways, back to our notebook here. So we're almost to the bottom. This is the pumpkin that came in mine. She did a little bit different version of the pumpkin but they're just amazing. If you could feel this, like, it's so amazing. Look at how beautiful this is. I mean, this is gorgeous. First of all, I'm honored to have something that is so beautifully stitched gifted to me by another stitcher. There is so much talent oozing out of this lady. I can't even tell you. So, run to her Etsy shop and place an order with her. She's way too reasonable for the quality of work that she does. That's all I'm going to say about that. So thank you so much, Sally. And the last thing I wanted to show you, so back to my basket. So my 1803 Ohio Farm baskets, which, do you see my M there? That was on my Prezi that Jen gave me. Can you see it? Yeah, for Michelle. And these little clips. Okay, so everyone from the retreat either got, and Thursday, the people who came on Thursday got first dibs, but they either got a shaker box from LaHaye's, from Robert LaHaye, who is amazingly talented and does these beautiful, beautiful shaker boxes. So I'm going to show you a few of these here, because I'll tell you the story about how I got to him. And then the other option were these little sewing baskets, because a shaker box isn't, you know, necessarily for everyone, but I mean, this is so versatile, these little baskets. Anne signs them on the bottom, and they're beautifully made. So they start with kind of this base, and the handle screws into them. Otherwise, they're completely handmade, no hardware. I mean, just a woven basket. And I put lots of goodies in here. Here's my little needle case, also made by Sally. And this was in my my other little stitching notebook that I got from her. I have my sampling of memories floss holder, just so pretty. I am a sucker for these. They're so pretty. And what else do I have? I have some tape. I have a little needle case. I have some cheetahs. Ooh. And I have a couple pairs of scissors. And 3 pairs of scissors, because I'm all about these scissors. And some needles and some floss. I mean, you wouldn't believe what you can fit in here. And that always sits just inside my little basket, my stitching basket. I also have Joanna, who is the Gnome Knitter on Instagram, who does, she did, which I got one. Let me see, it's around. So she sent us a bunch of stuff for the door prize table. And I can't even tell you, I asked people to bring door prizes and I cannot even tell you the stuff that was on that table. I think everybody and their brother got one, and when you got a door prize, it wasn't just like, you didn't like just get a needle minder. I mean, you got like a stack of stuff. And so it was pretty awesome. So thank you to everyone who attended and contributed to that amazing kit. We actually had to put the door prizes in a different room, and because it was so vast, it was unbelievable. So I was lucky enough, because I'm obsessed with Joanna stuff. I love it. And so I got that, and then let me show you the latest charms I got from her. Now these are knitting stitch markers, and I think on this one I just told her put whatever, just put a variety on there. She does these amazing little teacups. They are so fine, and the detail in them is absolutely incredible. Okay, so this is the Christmas coffee. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is her Christmas mug, and it is ridiculously adorable. So it's a cup of coffee, and it's got a little peppermint candy in it, and oh my lands, look at the little sugared gumdrop, and look at that Christmas frosted Christmas tree cookie. Are you kidding me? And then it's got a little lobster claw on it. What? Are you kidding? Look at how tiny this is. Isn't the detail on that amazing? And next, and I will say, I'm sorry to say that her shop is on break until after the first of the year, because she's having a wee little babe, and she needs to be home with him and her other wee little babe. So so her shop is closed, I think, until after January 1st. Here is my little pumpkin cupcake. How cute is that? So there's look at the detail on that. The frosting, and then there's a little tiny mini gumdrop or candy corn on that with a little tiny pumpkin. I mean, are you kidding me? And then I got one, I just got a little gumdrop. Isn't that pretty? I mean, you gotta lick it because they're so realistic. But they're not. It's not. It's all polymer clay she makes these out of. They're so incredible. If I ever knit anything again, actually I have a couple knitting projects, and if I didn't have so much stitching stuff to show you, I would show you those. But I think so. Those stay in here, and I have all sorts of other junk in here that I'm not going to show you because it's a mess. I did want to show you. So This is not stitching related, but Kay got me this and this is like so stinky cute. So it's like this little mesh dome. Isn't that adorable? And it's like a little, almost like a little cheese plate or something, but then you open it up and you're like, thanks. And it's like candy corns. The little candy corns, and they're like little bites taken out of them. Little primitive mouse. Oh my lands, he's so cute. On this beautifully painted little tray. And then, are you kidding me? Look at this. I'll get everybody in here. Oh, his whiskers are stuck. Oh, okay, let's try that again. Okay, and then look at in the hole. There's a little, can you see that? The little hole in the mesh, that's where he got in. Isn't that cute? That is really adorable. So thank you, Kay. Super cute. It's really original. I've never seen really anything like that. So I had some of these shaker boxes and they were on my wish list for Christmas last year. After, well, I saw them in quite a few places. I saw the divided tray and I had to have that. And I saw that on, it was Jessica's channel, Schoolhouse Stitcher. And so I messaged her at the time and I wanted a shaker box and I wanted the divided tray. And we were talking about sizes and she said, get this size because I got this size and this size would have been better. So I think this is a number 4. It's a pretty generous size. I think she had the number 3, which is probably like an inch smaller all the way around. And it's maybe an inch shorter. I don't know. These are perfect size. Really roomy. I actually don't have anything in here right now. Beautifully made. You know, the old style. Here's the nails. I mean, just really beautiful. This color is called Antique. And so I contacted, actually, I told my husband, this is what I want for Christmas. This is my list, and this was on it in the divided tray and a handled basket. And he said, Shell, I have some really bad news for you. I'm not going to be able to get it because, and this was, I think, October last year. And he said, I emailed him and he doesn't have anything available and he's booked through March. And I was like, yikes. And so I said, okay, well, put in the order, which he did. And so he got me, and I got them all in the antique. And he got me the handled basket. And I got the number 4. I think that this is either a number 5 or a number 6, but it's the sewing basket. Beautiful, beautiful. They come in a bazillion different colors. And I did contact him and I asked him if he ever did any large orders because I wanted to order. I was going to order like teeny tiny ones for the retreat. So I contacted him about doing some for the retreat and he suggested this size as well. He said it was a really versatile size and so that's what I went with. And the quality is beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. I also ordered a round box. It's for, I ordered it specifically for my Blackbird design and I wanted, it's kind of a spring themed project and I got it in this, it's like a tealy blue color. I don't remember what the color, it might be teal, but this is super pretty. And so it's got a recessed area here where you can mount stitching in. And then it's finished just with the antique on the inside. Super pretty. So I am thrilled to be able to have those. And then I also have the stitcher basket. Those are courtesy of my wonderful, fantastic, loving husband. Another gift I got was from the beautiful Stephanie of Lindy Stitches, who I saw has a new video out today, which I'm going to be crawling into bed and watching that. And this is Mr. and Mrs. Delicious. I mean, how stinking cute is that? I can't wait to stitch this. I've seen them, so there's a stitch along on it, and I've seen them stitched individually, and I've seen them stitched together, and when they're together, they're facing each other, and it's super cute, and I think that's how I'm going to stitch mine. Pretty sure, but I love it. Isn't that cute? Look at that Tom. I love her. Do you see, like, it's like, look at her little bonnet, or she's so cute. Really adorable. I love these. These are so clever. So thanks, Steph. Okay, so this next wonderful gift came from my sweet, sweet friend, Nikki. She is just the most adorable thing ever. By the way, she has also started doing Flosstube videos. So she is Kanicki's on Flosstube as well. I'm gonna, oh, my hands are full here. I'm going to link her channel below. She's adorable. She's literally the sweetest person you've ever met. You may remember last year I stitched a little something for Marlene and sent that to her. That was one of Nikki's patterns. They're super prim and just really beautiful, beautiful. So her designs are very primitive. She's an incredibly talented person. I initially fell in love with her after seeing her featured in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And she's just a lovely person. But she has started a new series. And I'll get to it. Okay, so here is the first chart I bought. This is so sweet. This is Snowberries and Wintered Feather Friends. Her charts are very generous. They are available in PDF for instant download, or they're available mailed. I like them mailed to me because I like to have the hard copies. I tend to lose patterns in my emails, so I generally like to just keep the hard copies. Plus, I like to thumb through my stash and remember how much cute stuff I have. Look at that. Look, is that a little swallow or sparrow at the top of that? Isn't that cute? So pretty. This one I am super duper in love with. So this is Winter Solstice. Look at those beautiful cardinals. And so she has this printed fabric that's down here available on her website. And printed on that, I mean, how amazing would that be? That would be super amazing. I wish I would have ordered that. Okay, so here is the Old Crow Inn. I think that Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42 on Instagram, and is she Stitchy Witch on YouTube? I believe this is the one that she's currently stitching or just finished. Isn't that cute? Love that. Then this isn't the best picture, but this was actually featured. I'm pretty sure that this is the one that was featured that I fell in love with in Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. But in the magazine, it's a punch needle kit, and so it's available as a cross stitch kit. I'm pretty sure that this is the same pattern. So if you have that issue of the magazine, you can do it in punch needle. But there's a cross stitch version too. And this, prepare yourselves. This is super amazing, super, super, super cool. Look at that. This is called Raven Moon Nevermore. This is not a small pattern. It's 211 by 234. Look at how beautiful. Isn't that awesome? Okay, and then here's the series I've been kind of waiting for her to release. So she has this newer series. It's the 1800 Homesteader series. And I just thought it was super de-duper cute. So here is the old general store. Isn't that adorable? I love this. It's so cute. So I don't know how I'm going to stitch these. These are not super large. They're 110 by 126. This one is. So it's charted for 40 count. And which would be 5.5 by 6.5. So you really could do this, you know, on a big piece of fabric with some of the other parts of the series too. And of course, here's my favorite series, or my favorite chart of the series. This is Livestock Buy Seller Trade. Look at that right there. See that? That is my sweet little Chloe that modeled for that. And I sent Nikki some pictures, and she used her to chart that. So that's really an honor. So thanks for asking, Nikki. I really appreciate it. I love this chart so much. It's so sweet. Now, of course, we discussed that Chloe would never, ever be at a sale barn, but this is sweet. And I really love her series. So then, because she is so incredibly sweet, she sent me a few extras, some goodies. Her fabrics are pretty amazing. They are so crazy primitive. So this is a 32 count. Look at that. So pretty. And here's another one she sent me. And another. Like, they're legit. They're just so cool. I love those. This actually would have looked really nice. This would have been perfect for my horse country sal that I'll show you. She also sent me some crushed walnut shells because she knows I love those. Those are so sweet. So this is 8 ounces, about 2 cups, if you order those from her. And she also sent me this printed linen. So this is kind of cool. And everything smells amazing. It's kind of, this printed linen, isn't that pretty? So she does a fantastic job. She sent me the most amazing card. Look at this. Those are goats pulling carts. I think I want to maybe frame this somewhere. That is so awesome. I love it. Love that. Look, she just sent me the best box of goodies. It was so much fun to go through all of this. Here is a little wax tart. It is a, it's a little honeycomb. There we go. Isn't that so sweet? And she sent me this little Be Thankful, which I am very thankful for her. And how cute is this guy? Isn't he the sweetest thing? I don't know. I wish people, when they send me things, would tell me if they, did you make this, Nikki? I don't know. If you did, that is so amazing. How cute is he? He's super prim and super adorable. I love him. And he smells so earthy and cinnamony, and oh my God, he's so cute. I love it, love it, love it. So thank you, sweet. Oh, and then the other thing, I spray this all the time. This smells so good. So this is, I'm not sure if she sells this or not, but it smells really pretty. It's bayberry, and it's a old-fashioned linen and body spray. Isn't that pretty? I love this. It's like really fragrant. Like it's like really nice. And it would be super nice. I don't know. Can you use that on fabric? Well, it says linen spray, so that would be really nice to have. I need more of this. Love this stuff. But I wanted to show you some of my finishes. So I was lucky enough to be able to have 3 pieces framed. And so one of them was my Brenda Keys. This is called Puritan Sampler. And if you watch my previous videos, you'll remember that there was a border that was stitched around it that I was kind of debating about, and I ended up omitting that. And I just put this chunky frame on it, and I really, really love it. So you can see the frame has this kind of beveled effect, but it's very kind of rustic, almost looks hand carved or something in there. A lot of texture to it. And then, so I had these framed at the Michaels in Savage, Minnesota. So Michaels in my neck of the woods uses Aaron Brothers framing, so they're contracted. And I have not tried any other Michaels, but Mindy, who's Minty Stitcher, she, I was actually talking to her on the phone. I was pulling into Hobby Lobby, and I had my stitch pieces, and I was just going to have them measure and then make frames for me. I was going to pick them up and frame them myself. And she convinced me, go to Michaels and Savage. They do fantastic work. She had her like big, huge Harry Potter piece framed there. And she had some other things framed there. And she said they just did a fantastic job. So I'm like, girl, I'm going to trust you. So I went over, and they did a fantastic job. I mean, the framing is perfection. And like, the ladies there do such an amazing job. I was talking to the guy who helped me measure, and he just said the two ladies that do the needlework framing like take such pride in it, and they obviously do an amazing job and take great care. So and then they use, it's a conservation glass. This, you know, it's really variable what you can pay. This was one of their more expensive frames. I'm sure just because it's thicker. I don't know. I don't know why they choose it's probably the material of the frame. I can tell this is a wood frame. I love that they put these little tags on the back so you know when it was framed. Just super nice. They do a fantastic job with the hardware. I can't say enough good things about them. I'm so glad I listened to Mindy on that one. I have not been disappointed at all. And so my next piece, and they did tell me that this one was going to stick out a little bit because of the way that how deep the frame was. And the other thing that they do is when they do needlework, which I was really surprised because I didn't ask about it, I just picked it up and it was framed correctly, they use spacers. So it's not sitting up against the glass. I don't know if you can really see that, but they use spacers in there. So they frame it appropriately. And again, this has glass, but it's the conservation glass. And, well, this one does not have the date on it, but I can write that on there. And this is my Prairie Schooler Harvest Time. And this frame was actually not very expensive. And I think the whole thing was, you know, half the price of that other one. And, yeah, so not bad at all. Love this frame. That one. Love this. So glad to have, like, really nicely framed pieces hanging on my wall now. I really love this one. I finally had, this was a dimensions kit. This was Scenic Farm. I finally had it framed. I had it framed. Incidentally, I'm pretty sure this is the exact same frame that Diane from Little House Needlework used to frame Farmhouse Christmas. And so I don't know where she had hers framed, but this is available at Michael's. This is one of the higher price points for frames, just FYI. So if you're going to frame anything out of this, it is going to be expensive. But I couldn't use anything else with this because this just was perfect. And again, on this one, they did put, this was framed the same time I had the first one framed, so they dated that. But this is fantastic. Completely perfect. There was a little error the way that they framed it the first time. They measured incorrectly. But I didn't even have to ask. They just said, we're going to reframe it. And that was that. And it takes 2 weeks from the time you drop it off to the time you get it back. I mean, you can't beat that. But so this is probably the most tedious stitch I've ever done. I don't know about that, but that's a lot of back stitch. But I'm pretty proud of this one, and I love it. It's so beautiful. It hangs in my office. I look at it every day. I can't believe the detail. I mean, look at the little sheep there. I mean, aren't they just adorable? The detail in this whole thing is just so much fun to stitch. Hope you can see it. I can't see anything, so I'm really, really ecstatic to have these done. Okay, there are a few projects that I did as smalls and gave away, so I don't have those to show you. But I do have a few other things to show you. So this was a Stitch Mania start for me last, was it this year? This Stitch Mania. So 2018, I think. Right? Yes. This is Merry Christmas, Brenda Gervais. This is stitched 1/1 on a 28 count Lugana. Super adorable. I'm going to finish it as a small, just like just like it calls for, or just like it's pictured in the on the front of the chart. It's just adorable. I'm pretty sure I changed out the red in Santa because it was charted for chili pepper, and my chili pepper was very, very orange. And I didn't feel like the red on here was that orange. So I tried to find something that looked similar, and I think I did a pretty good job. Right? Mine was like very orange, so that just was not going to work for me. The other thing, this is not a finish. It should be, but it's actually in timeout right now. And it is Grateful, Thankful, Blessed, another Brenda Gervais. And it is adorable. If I don't remember, sometimes I do try and make a working copy because this is what my charts end up looking like. I am not gentle with them. I do not resell them, primarily for this reason. Here it is. So beautiful. And I did a lot of the house at the retreat. It was in my intention to have something solid so that I didn't have to count, and that worked out really, really well for me. I have almost, I'll show you what I have left to do. The insides of these corner stars, the beaks and the feet on the birds, and there's some flowers that go in this pumpkin arrangement here. And oddly enough, well, that bird is done. And there's some flowers in her skirt here. Again, the corners. And the rest of this border. And there's a mistake in this border, in these letters. So I have to take out these 3 letters. And then finish stitching it. Now you wouldn't think that, oh, and then the doorknob too. And you wouldn't think that would be such a big deal. But I stitched those letters like 3 times. And I'm kind of over it. And now I've moved on to Christmas stitching. So I think this is probably just going to wait until next year. But it'll be a super quick, easy finish. And I'll have it framed. And I'll probably do that like September. And I'll have it done in order to hang for Thanksgiving, and it will be amazing. Now I stitched this on a 36 count, and I did 1/1 with the exception of the border and the letters because they were so light and I wanted them to show up a little bit more. I did those 2/2, but all the inside of the sampler and the house even I did 1/2. And so pretty. It's so pretty. I love her, people. So that will be done for next year, and I'm not disappointed about that at all because I'm ready to do lots of Christmas stitching, and then this will be easy breezy to finish up next year. I used pretty much all the called for colors on that one. The fabric was something that I hand dyed myself. Okay, here. I have a warning about this. Please, I did call Country Sampler because this is a stitch along that I'm hosting on my Facebook group, which is the Midwest Cross Stitchers, and on Instagram. This is Horse Country Holiday. It is a design by Artful Offerings. To be honest, I am not sure if they offer their patterns on their website or not. This chart is, I just checked, it is currently sold out on 123 Stitch. There were some other sites, so if you just Google it, I'm sure you'll find a website for it. Have no fear, it will be available sometime again, even if you can't get it, so no need to fret. I actually looked on my phone and I had this screenshotted and saved from back in August 24th with this this stitched version. And then Country Sampler in Spring Green, Wisconsin, which is a quilt / stitchy store, they posted a prim conversion. And the prim conversion, y'all, is amazing. So prepare yourselves, because I have finished it. Now, this took me 8 days. A lot of people ask me all the time, how can you stitch so fast? And I mean, if you follow my Instagram stories, you know I'm a busy lady. I'm not sitting around loitering all day stitching like some people have the impression. But this is a very, very easy stitch, and I stitched it on 32 count, so that is very helpful. But it's a lot of, Teresa had talked one time in her video about how to stitch faster. I'm a fast stitcher anyways. I'm always I either two-hand stitch or I stitch in hand. I two-handed stitch this one, and it's also stitched on a 32 count. So I stitched this on 32 count brash, and that was the picture of this plus fabric that Marcy gave me. And here it is. I know, it's stunningly beautiful. Like stunningly beautiful. Okay, here's what I will say about this. I did call the shop, but they are having their Christmas open house this weekend. I'm going to be heading there tomorrow. I will ask in person, but do not ask me for their conversion, because if you buy the chart from them, which you can call them, if you Google Country Sampler Spring Green, Wisconsin, it'll pop up right there for you. You can order it on their website. Do not call their shop this weekend because they are crazy busy. I called a couple times and got the answering machine, because if they're busy with customers, they're not going to answer the phone. And I did leave them a message, and she didn't get back to me. So I know that they were crazy busy today. And I've seen all the Instagram posts. I know that there's like lots of people in that shop, and I'm going to be there tomorrow. So don't bother them because I'm shopping there. Here's my take on that. It's their conversion, and you really, like, if you want their conversion, then buy the chart for them. It's a $10 chart, and they also have a Facebook group. I think it's SG Country Sampler for Spring Green, and I can still smell like that room spray. It smells amazing in here. But they also have a Facebook group, and they have some beautiful samplers. So this chart should not travel alone. There are plenty of other things that you're going to need from there. So get it, girl. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this. I'm taking this with me tomorrow, and I'm going to look for some fabric there. And I'm hoping that there aren't 4 million people in the shop so that I can command their attention and they can help me pick out fabric. But I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm going to try. But I have my 2 older sisters, Kathy and Deb, there to help me. So I love this. This was nothing complicated, but this is honestly one of my most favorite stitches because I just think it's so quintessential, primitive, a country Christmas. I mean, a Frisian horse with a checkered plaid blanket. I can't. It's the snowflakes. It's border. I mean, here's my plan. So I have this pillow, and I don't want everything hanging on my walls. I want to be able to put like little things It's actually 12 by 12. It's kind of scrunched in here, so it looks more rectangular than it does, but it is square. I might give it a little extra stuffing to really stuff it. I don't know, but I think I might make a pillow cover and do a, just maybe a lace edge or something border here, and, you know, add a little fabric down here, and then a pretty backing fabric. What do you think? I am open to suggestions, but I don't want to frame it. But I love this. Love it. This little pillow form I got at, I don't know, Michael's or Joann's, and they sell it in a bunch of different sizes. I think they had like an 8 by 8. This is the 12 by 12. And it's actually, it was in their craft section, not in like their upholstery or whatever. It was not in the whatever section. Okay, and then, so this is what I'm currently working on. So this is a stitch along that I actually started last year, and then I didn't start it. And then I started it at the May retreat, and I put 70 stitches in, and then I didn't put any other stitches in. So, let's see. Veronica, who is Senorita Stitches on Instagram, Abby Bella Stitch, Marsha, who is on Instagram, she is Cruise Soap, I think. And there's a few other people that are going to be doing this as well. But this is the Feliz Navidad. This is still available. It's Blackbird Designs. It is so pretty. So I hand dyed my fabric, and I love the color of this fabric. So I dyed it to match this color. And I really feel like they do a phenomenal job of making sure that their chart pictures match what you're actually going to be stitching. So here is my start. And look at those colors. So I just want to show you. My teal blue might be just a teeny tiny titch darker. But otherwise, look at, I mean, does that ever happen? Where your stitch piece is like exactly the same as the chart? Never ever happens. Kudos to the ladies, Barb and Alma at Blackbird. It's super pretty. I actually did this in one night. Okay, so people say I stitch really fast. This is simple borders, stitched two-handed. I'm stitching it on, pretty sure this is either 36. Well, let's see, because I use the called for count. 36 count. So this is 36 count with my magnification. And that's what I had started, I think, this vine down to like right here. And that's that. So I stitched that in one evening, and that was after I finished the Horse Country Sal. So on this one, and I only stitched for maybe, actually last night I probably stitched for maybe 3 hours. So I finished stitching. Oh, I just finished stitching. I stitched the tail, and then I was done. And then I went on to this and stitched the rest of that. And that was probably 2.5 hours of stitching. I have a dog who just, I can hear her. She just locked herself in the bathroom. So, and I think that might be all I have to show you right now. Should we do some haul? It's a 2-hour video. Okay, so when you don't film a video for a couple months and you have a retreat and you go with some friends for a stitchy weekend to Needlework Galleria, you have haul. And I make no apologies about my haul. I am not going to go through every single little thing, and so I want to show you my amazing jar, which I still have not unpacked since I got home from Galleria because it's so amazing. I don't want to take it apart. And sometimes I just like to turn it around and look at all the goodies in here. So so kudos to Teresa. Teresa, she, hands down best, shop there. I mean, not even a comparison. She was the best. When she puts her mind to something, it's obvious that she goes full gusto. I just really appreciate all the work that she put into it, because it made the experience like so amazing just to see all the stuff that she brought. And I know it was an incredible amount of work for her. And the first night, there were so many people in there and it was so hot. I was a little worried that if they didn't stay hydrated, they were going to pass out. And I mean, her room was always jam-packed with people. It was so much fun. I am a shopper, and by shopper, I mean I love, like, I'm a retail rat. I worked for 10 years when I was a stay-at-home mom. I worked every weekend at the Mall of America in the Great Bloomington, Minnesota, just so I could be around the hustle and bustle. So I love like a packed room with tons of stuff, and I like to rifle, and like that is so right up my alley. So my other two favorite shops, I mean, there were lots of amazing people there. And honestly, by Saturday, I was done. And honestly, by Saturday, I was just like so spent. And by spent, I mean that I spent all my money. I brought cash with me. And when I spent that was it. I was done. But it was an amazing time, and it was so much fun. And I met a lot of really nice people there, and I met a lot of really nice designers, and it was just fantastic, and a lot of really nice shop owners. So thank you so much, Kathy, and I met Nancy, and they have a Flosstube channel that I watch as well. And love it. So it was super, super fun. And Kathy puts on an amazing event there. Lose sleep over that because that was pretty epic. But, and then she runs, she has a storefront too there, which that was my second favorite shop there. And then huge shout out to the Silver Needle. Those ladies are amazing. Mona actually gave me her cheaters, which I still have them, Mona. Thank you, girl. I forgot cheaters and I couldn't stitch, and I was so sad. So I went to all the shops looking, and I walked in there and she said, well, you can have mine. And I thought that was so sweet. And they are the shop that really enabled me too. So, but this was lots of, so many goodies in here. The Nebby Needle was also one of my favorite designers there. Just, I mean, the charts just never do them justice. It's so amazing to see all these in person. The Silver Needle, so they had, I mentioned before, they had all these Scarlet House smalls, and they had them in these like really pretty shadow box display cases. So I was actually at an antique sale at the State Fairgrounds in Minnesota, and there was a guy there that was selling all these display cases there, and he hand makes these. This was $12. The ones that they had at the Silver Needle, they were like a distressed black, and you want to get the shadow boxes that are open front. And they were super beautiful. They also have one that has feet on it, and it's like an old window pane, and it's super cute. And Teresa had one in her shop, and it was adorable. It was like a window pane. It had like an old handle on it. It was super cute. I want to say that she showed it in a video, but I don't know if she did or not. But Teresa, if you're watching, you should show that. That's super cute. And so anyway, so I bought this box for $12, and it comes unfinished, and you can paint it and distress it, which would be super cute. And I stained mine because I like the one that Teresa had, and I might even put a handle on it like hers had. I don't know. But so I haven't put the polyurethane coat on it yet. So all my hardware and everything, but so it'll darken up just a little bit more once I put the poly on it. And I did use a real like Minwax oil-based stain for this. Super pretty. The guy's from Wisconsin. I wish I would have gotten his card. Anyways, yep, I really, really love this, and can't wait to get it finished. And then let me just show you a sampling of what Silver Needle had in their case. Okay, so here are some of the patterns that they had in their case that I grabbed. So these are all Scarlet House, and they're all smalls, and they're so beautiful. So I love this little salt box house, and this is kind of one of their fall themes here. You could easily omit like some of the pumpkins and stuff, and you could stitch this as Christmas too. I mean, that would be a great little Christmas small. This one, this is, oh, and so this one is Salem Hill Sampler. And this one is Nice to Meet You, like a sheep, E-W-E. And there's a little sheep there. Super cute. And this one is a Sampler Grows. I love this. It says inch by inch, row by row, X's make my sampler grow. And it's got a little scissor fob here, and this was so cute. And My Gift to Thee, I've always loved that one for a Christmas small. And this one is on Stoneware Street. And I'm telling you, these are adorable pictured, but in real life as a stitch small, they're like even 10 times better. And then this one is Strawberry House. I really love this one because I have a thing for white houses, and I love them. And this is on Redware Road. And this one is Find Comfort. It says Find Comfort and Peace at Home. Another white house. Love that. So those were super fun. And then here's also, I belong to, I think it's like the Farmhouse series through Spring Green, Country Sampler at Spring Green. And it is a Scarlet House, and I am super, super in love with that. The fabric that came with the chart is super, super dark. I feel like some of the colors get lost on there, and I'm wondering if there's anyone who stitched it who feels like it wouldn't. I mean, but if you look at it, they really don't. And that white would, oh, look at how that white pops on there. And everything is kind of inside the white or outlined in black. So I need to trust the designer, right? Tell me I need to trust the designer because dark colors scare me. So I'm just going to show you a very small fraction of my haul from since the last time I saw you, because it has been a rough few months for us. So we just had a lot of family stuff going on, and I did a lot. I didn't do a little. I did a lot of retail therapy. I'm kind of out of that phase now, but I definitely feel like I self-medicated a little bit by and preoccupied my time with shopping, which is fine because it's I tend to, when I use stitchy stuff, when I have stitchy stuff, it's everything. I try and use cash, like cold hard cash, nothing that's coming out of our budget. So it works for me. I realize not everyone can do that. It's you know, you just got to be responsible with it. And this is an insane amount of stash, but it's money that I had available. So it's not something that I always do, but I definitely enjoyed it. So let me show you what I got. So this was more Galleria items. This was from the Nebby Needle, and I really, really, really enjoyed her booth. And this is just the sweetest little pillow. It says life is fragile, handle with prayer. And it's just kind of where I was at the time. Like, that really spoke to me, and it was so sweet. And there's another one here. Let me see if I can. Here it is. This one. Love this one. This is Amazing Grace. So pretty. And this one I saw stitched the sampler, and it was absolutely beautiful. It is Old Town Sampler. Isn't that pretty? Love that house. And this one, it's called Mr. Claus at the Ready, and it was that that little small right here. Oh, that model was so cute. Super, super cute. And Autumn and Madison County. I mean, if you're my generation, you remember the movie with Robert Redford and oh my gosh, what was her name? And anyways, they were in The Bridges of Madison County. Do you remember that? I read that book too when I was like 20. I loved it. And here, I loved this. This was so sweet. The actual, the stitch model was there, and it has this little piece of lace there, and it was like, oh, it's so pretty. The latest from the Dying to Stitch Club. This is a heartstring samplery, and it is beautiful. It's super beautiful, and I always love everything that Beth Twist does. I mean, so pretty. I feel like sometimes like she designs just for me. You ever find a designer like her and Brenda? I mean, they're just making stuff for me, right? This is Summer House Stitchworks. This was a kit that I got, and I actually was lucky enough to meet Beth Seal in person and chat with her at Needlework Galleria. And so I bought this little kit. It was so pretty. I also bought the rest. I had a couple of them. I bought the rest of the Fragments in Time series for 2018. This is so pretty. I thought it would just be a beautiful little, it's called Migration. So it came with the fabric and the floss and everything. And boy, I have the hardest time with these geometric patterns. I mean, it's super pretty, but I was stitching it in hand and I could not keep the right side upright. And so my stitches are going in every other direction, and I can't remember, but I thought there was an error somewhere in here. As I'm looking at it now, I don't see an error, but I thought there was. Okay, I thought there was an error in here, but I don't see it now. So maybe I fixed it, and then, because I'm trying not to put things back with errors, because then I never want to pick them up again. I mean, it's so pretty. The colors are amazing. But I'm going to need to throw this in a hoop and remember which side is up when I pick it up again. But, so her kits are fantastic. So there's the backing fabric. And it's just going to be a pretty little small to go in a little arrangement for next fall. And I do love the fabric. It looks like a Weeks Dye Works Dove Gray. Let me see here. It's very pretty. I'm sure that's what it is. Oh, 30. Nope, it's 32 count tin roof. And it is very pretty and perfect for fall with all those golds. Yeah, that's amazing. This is a la-di-da. I love it. It's so pretty. And it's called Humble and Kind. So pretty. And this I stitched Coffee Saves Lives sampler. And this is the next in the series. I think I also, and here it is. I Need a Fairy Coffee Mother. So those are 2 and 3 in the series. Also got this one from the Silver Needle. It's another heartstring samplery small. And this one I've wanted for a long time, also from the Silver Needle. It's Never Let You Go. So pretty. And that was the only big project. Otherwise, when I was at Galleria, I bought nothing but smalls. I never used to stitch smalls. Well, I shouldn't say that. I stitched a lot of ornaments back in the day, but I'm really enamored with them right now. And I feel like I have enough big projects going on that I can't buy any big projects. And now that I've said that, I'd like to show you the next big project that I'm going to be working on, which this is Kathleen's fault from Kathleen's Trodden Trail. This is Cottage Garden Peace on Earth sampler. She showed it and she started stitching it, and it took one little corner up here that she's got stitched, and it's so beautiful. And it is really stunning. And it's a doozy. I looked at that. It's 219 by 270. So it's not a small sampler. This one, gorgeous. This is Paulette Plum Street Sampler, a Penny Autumn. I love that. It's gorgeous. And then another Plum Street. And this is also Kathleen's doing Pink House Sampler. Pink House Sampler. Isn't that so pretty? Love that. And one last thing I want to show you, and then I need to go, and I'm going to edit this down to, because right now it says 2 hours and 25 minutes. So that's not going to happen. So Kathy Barrick posted on her, oh shoot, I got them all out of order. She posted on her, on Facebook that she had these cute little designs, and these are labels for the back of your samplers. Let me just see. Okay, so I think these are 2 different ones. So I bought, she has 2 different versions, and they're so cute. So let me just show you. And they have, this piece was wrought by and completed on the blank day of blank in the year blank. That you, so, and they're adhesive, so you just, you know, peel them off, and you can stick them after you have them framed. You can stick them on your stitch pieces. So there's this lady, this little girl here, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, and then there were another pack, so I bought both packs. And here's the other one. Are those fantastic? Okay, that's it. All right, have you been enabled? Then my job here is done. So I'll see you next time. Bye. So I got Dookie some shoes. He's been sitting there for like 10 minutes like that. Dookie, come here. Dookie, come here. Come here, Dookie. I can't even. This poor dog. Dookie, do you like your new shoes? Sophie, come here. Come here, Sophie. Go on, Sophie. Go on, go outside. Come on. Go on. Come on, you want to come in? You come in. Duke, you want to come in? Come on. Come on, Dookie. Come on, Dookie, come in the house. Damn it, I'm going to have to go out there and get him. Come on, Dookie.